Hey, soul survivor. So we've talked about some relationships are toxic, whether they're narcissistic or not. So I had this one lady reach out to me about the person that she's with. She's been with them about 4 years and they seem to have a good relationship, but there are problems. And do they really have a good relationship? So no relationship is perfect. I did a video on the 80-20, where 80% of the relationship is good, 20%, you're going to have some ups and downs. So what matters is how you feel and what is important to you and what you can tolerate, what you can compromise with, and what your moral standards are. So she had said that her man has been reaching out to people on Facebook and also possibly dating sites, flirtatious, pornographic material type stuff. And so he has changed, I believe, the passcode, which is a red flag, also keeping secrets. But however, he did tell her, I can't help it. And I'm going to continue to do it. So you can either leave or put up with it. So that's at least being honest. So that part isn't as narcissistic. Narcissists can say that too, but he is being honest and she's wanting to change him. Now, there are times that we can counter it with, we don't always have to accept things, but we can counter it and see what they say. So she could say, look, I feel it's disrespectful. If you feel bringing disrespect into this relationship is going to help it. So there are certain things that we can do. However, we also have to understand the person. Are they going to appease us or are they going to uphold the compromise? So that depends on the person. So lately he went through a spurt, I believe about 2 weeks ago, where he's reaching out a lot and she can't actually access the messages because she doesn't have the passcode, but she sees like 160 texts back and forth. She sees that the person replies based on the phone number record. So she is assuming that it's probably a woman, but most likely it is. And usually guys don't chat with each other like that. Sometimes they can, but if they do, it's usually because of a problem or something exciting in their life, and he's not sharing that with her. So that's also a red flag. Now, she could have accepted it, and that's how the relationship is, or she could stick to her true beliefs, which leads to whether she's going to feel happy, safe in the relationship, realizing her worth. So she's like, how do I bring it up? Do I bring it up? And he's been more cuddly lately. Now, people, when they do things wrong, sometimes can try to make up for it. Now, the reason I want to do this video is because she said that somebody on YouTube had done a video where it says the reason he is doing this is because he's lacking something at home. Now, I don't want her feeling that his actions are because of her, because he could tell her like, hey, I need to snuggle some more, or he could make a romantic evening. He could do his part to kind of fulfill his needs, to increase things. But he also has a low sex drive, and there's a lot of things going on that starts clouding our thoughts. Is it for sexual gratification? If he has low sex drive, sometimes we start feeling, is it because of us? Are we not pretty enough or sexy enough? Or, is it a medical reason? Or is he trying to find it elsewhere? So she also talks about creating that fantasy. And, some people don't want to grow up. Remember being teenagers and chasing the love of your life or feeling that new excitement. So maybe he is trying to find some excitement, but the fact is he's in a grown relationship with somebody for several years. And, sometimes communication can be difficult because sometimes we don't want to rock the boat if it's not necessary. But when it starts eating at us, when it starts causing us to lose sleep or feel insecure, that there comes a time that if we're in a loving relationship, that it should be a good relationship. But it gets scary for her, because he's already said, I can't help it. Now, she does talk about he has PTSD. There's some issues like some severe childhood trauma. I believe some of it was adult as well, to the point where he almost got killed by people within his family. So some severe stuff that causes PTSD. However, when you're with someone that goes through a certain traumatic experience and you are there to help them, you shouldn't, bite the hand that feeds you. So if you are, helping somebody through a difficult time, you shouldn't be crapped on. So these kind of things should be handled before the relationship really even gets deep or intimate or physical. But also things happen. They come up. Was he doing this in the beginning? Was he hiding it in the beginning? And 2 years into this relationship, he's doing it, cuts it off. So we start feeling safe again. And then it starts reappearing. And to say it's because of PTSD can cause anxiety, can cause all these kind of things. But how we react to that is on us. You can say, I'm drinking because of this. I'm doing drugs because of this. I'm sleeping around because of this. Doesn't make it right. And if you can recognize what is causing it, then you can recognize what the outcome is. And you can recognize whether it's the right or wrong thing to do. And you proceed, you can make that choice. Is it the right thing to do or the wrong thing to do? And the fact that somebody on YouTube had said it, there is possibly some truth where they're not happy at home, or that it's an easy excuse to do what they want. So the commitment to the relationship was already faltered when he said, screw it, I can't handle it, take it or leave it, to where he didn't consider her feelings. He didn't consider what a faithful relationship is. Now, some people will think that that is cheating. Some people will think it's just purely harmless, but you're opening that door to temptation. And that's where it can turn toxic. So in the beginning, it might be fun and flirty. It might just be some stranger, but eventually it starts creating those kind of cravings, those kind of dopamine hits from another woman, that it can start to destroy your relationship. So the purpose of this video is to say, the problems if it's from needing something, where he's missing something at home, he's missing something within him, and it's not her. That, she can try and try and try, but unless he recognizes this hole, he's not going to fix it. And he has to fix it from within. He can't keep going to outside sources. And this is where it gets tricky. And we have to do that too in our healing process, is that we have to become whole within ourselves. So he's lacking something. And it's almost like investing in certain things to where you have to appreciate what you have for it to help fill you up. And he's not appreciating what he has. So her trying more is, sometimes enabling that you're doing this and I'm going to try more. I'm scared of losing you, so I'm going to try more. That we have to be cautious on what is enabling and what is fixing. So I don't mind talking to her more, but I definitely want to say, be careful what you hear on YouTube, that a lot of times there are two sides to the story. Narcissism is completely crazy. I just watched by Danish, I'm not sure how to pronounce his last name, but he had this video about the narcissist man who is enmeshed and basically in love with his mother, where you see how somebody treats their mother, that's how they're going to treat you. But the narcissist a lot of times is a mama's boy, but they can be the exact opposite too. So narcissism is usually on both ends of the spectrum and not in the middle. Decent relationship with your mom, decent relationship with your dad. Narcissism, that's why sometimes they cross over, that they can go from covert to overt. So as far as her situation, if it is not acceptable to you, if it is going to cause you problems, it will eat away at the relationship. And if you can't have an open conversation, that's that walking on eggshells. And the narcissist or person, because people can become narcissistic over time, but that walking on eggshells will also change the relationship. That we have to be bold within ourselves, confident within ourselves. When we believe we deserve respect, then we're a lot more likely to get it. Sorry, I become Facebook famous overnight and people are just calling me. I had to shut my phone off. So one-on-ones are available. Topic requests are welcome. Please hit that like and comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Sorry for the interruption.